Runners are challenged by themselves. The Kinney Nationals have become a forum for new champions. Scott Jenkins and 3 of his University of Wisconsin teammates first met at the high school nationals. The experience they gained at that meet helped them when they teamed up to win the NCAA cross-country team title.
Running in Kinney meet helped me out a lot because I wasn't really sure how good I was in high school. And running a national meet kind of told me, hey, I can run on the national level.
I thought that after all of us came here the same year that eventually we could do really well.
But we didn't think we'd win the national championship so soon, our second year.
We've had many athletes that have fared very well at Kinney and then have done well in the national competition. In the case of this particular group, when they go into a meet, they feel very well prepared and very confident. Probably that's their greatest strength. It is such a demanding sport. Cross country requires a tremendous amount of discipline, mental toughness.
All the way to the top, John.
They're so strong in their own self-image. Certainly they get the benefits of fitness, but there's something else that's driving them. And I believe that is, how good can I be in search of my own personal excellence?
There's power in 2 people doing anything together for a common good. Since cross country is such an individual sport, when you have 2 guys on the same team that can run together, you could give a few words of encouragement or just help pace. If it's a windy day, having a team member to work together against the wind helps quite a bit.
I have never met a distance runner that wanted to pass up that cross-country season. You hit the woods and you hit the trails, running around the lakes, and there are deer, and there's something about that. You know you're working incredibly hard, and yet for some reason you don't feel the exhaustion.
The way you judge yourself in cross country is how you compete against others and not by your time. Courses do vary quite a bit. In cross country we have rain, we have cold weather, sometimes it's windy, sometimes it's hot. We have hills to run up, hills to run down, and we run through all kinds of things.
As cross-country has gained in popularity, the Kinney regional qualifying races have attracted a growing field of participants, among them the best high school runners in the nation. Until 1972, the longest Olympic women's race was half a mile. Today, the competition for the Kinney National Women's title is 5,000 meters, or 3.1 miles. This event is watched as closely as the men's race.
Psyched? Okay.
2 of the nation's top young distance runners have entered the Northeast Regional. Janet Smith, a senior from New Jersey, has twice placed 5th in the Nationals.
All the good things, all the work you've done, let it come out. Okay, just relax, just relax.
Kathy Skiro is a junior from New Hampshire and 4-time New England cross-country champion. Due to her hard work and discipline, Kathy was the youngest qualifier for the 1984 Olympic marathon trials.
If you keep training, you're going to get better, but it's going to be slow. Like maybe in a year, I'll know that if I keep training hard, that I'll have some goal that I'll reach.
Kathy has trained with her best friend, Tracy, since junior high school.
Most of the time, we always talk during our runs, but sometimes me and Tracy can go out and, like, laugh, you know, for the first 3 miles, because, you know, we both are going through the same thing, and that makes the run more fun.
because I train with her. I think it helps me on races. When I start, I know how much of a distance I should keep behind her. And I think about Kathy going out, and I know she's going to win.
When I finish, I always run right back to cheer her on, you know. I hope she comes right behind me.
Marcia Dowling has been Kathy's coach since the 8th grade.
You know, when you become one of the best, then certainly you're out to beat your competition. But there are so many goals that one can have in that sport that it makes it a lot of fun for most kids. You know, I ran this course at such and such a time last year. Can I beat that goal? It hardly matters where you come in the field.
I like cross country the best, I think. When it's fall, the changing of the leaves, and it's just prettier, you know, you can go on country roads. You like the way you look, and you feel healthy. I like what you get out of it, you know, success and meeting people, going places. The main thing that's going to help me is how my training's been for the last couple months is what's more important. Now it's just a matter of staying healthy until the races come.
You have to be disciplined. The training's so hard that you can't say, I don't want to do it. In high school, I thought I was just going to be average on the team and just run for fun. I didn't think I was going to make the state meet at all, and I won it as a freshman.
Stick to the same kind of training procedure. On Thursday, we'll run some of our speed again. And if it rains now, we're still going to have to go through the training program because we can't hold up for this race. Again, and hopefully we'll be ready for the Kinney race. No big deal.
Janet's high school coach is John Gundry.
Now, the Kinney meet, you know that the kids that come there are going to come in from about 13 different states, right, Mr. Reamer? About 13 states. And you're probably going to have quite a few state champions in that race. And from that race, they take 8 boys and 8 girls, so it's a very tough competition. And it's an honor even to get into the race.
There's always an athlete somewhere. Maybe they just took up running seriously in the last year or so who might beat Janet. But you can't allow that to put pressure on you in your training. And it's helped other kids on the team. They enjoyed being around her. Last year, Kathy was just a team member. No special direction was being given to this girl. And suddenly, she wanted to run. And it's ironic that if Janet wasn't around here this year, Kathy would have been a state sectional champion. I think Janet had a great deal to do with that. She was a role model for her, an inspiration.
I like cross country. I have more fun in that season than I do in track. We're a lot more close because there's not as many people on the team. We always have a lot more fun. We're not on the track at all.
Get yourself set!
The Kinney Northeast Regional is held in New York City's Van Cortlandt Park. Janet Smith leads the race from the starting gun. Kathy Skiro finishes second, with the rest of the field 30 seconds behind her.
When Janet lost last year in the Nationals, I honestly believe I did a very poor coaching job. I overcoached her. I was too nervous about the race. I think it made me grow up somewhat as a coach. There's no higher goal than being a national champion. As Janet said, you know, you have to believe you can win it all.
Beautiful, beautiful. Janet. Super.
You're gonna go now.
I have to go to California.
I was happy because it was the best finish I had, and I'm going to San Diego and everything. I hope to do well. Run my hardest.
All right, here we go! Stacy, what you doing there? Where'd you come in?
She's going for it.
Oh, super.
She's going. I hope we get room together. I'm excited. I want to go. I'm sure it's a dream a lot of people hold right now who just qualified.
I don't think Janet was ready last year. She's ready this year. She's ready to win it.
Second fastest 2-miler in the country last year.
In the first 4 years of the Kinney Nationals, the men's race was dominated by runners from the West.
Our top returning finisher from the 1982 Kinney Western Regionals. He's the Oregon.
This year, the Western Regional is held in Fresno, California.
Tracy Garrison. And finally, the top returning finisher in last year's Kinney Nationals. He was 7th. He was 5th in this speed from Pasadena, California, number 3567, Jesus Gutierrez.
Qualifying in the Kinney Regional race means national recognition. For high school runners like Jesus Gutierrez, it can also hold important athletic and scholarship opportunities. His coach is Mark Evans.
Athletically, from the time he was a freshman, you can see the determination and the competitiveness and the pride. He's a really neat person to watch run because of his stride and his technique.
When you work hard at running, the dedication takes you to other dedications like schoolwork. I like cross-country running because to be good at it, you got to work hard to get up there, like I did.
The fact that he has come from the 5th grade and knowing no English to where he is now as a senior in high school is just, to me, astounding. His grade point average is 3.0 overall. This semester he's earning a 3.4, and they're all college prep type classes. His family is a great support, and you can see that in Jesus.
My father passed away when I was about 10 years old.
Bye-bye.
Me and my brother, Jose, we both work and help out my mom with what we can. We're doing pretty good. None of my family members has ever been to college. They've been as far as high school, then they drop out and go to work. I'm hoping to get a full 4-year scholarship.
I think Jesus is a great prospect. I see him potentially to be a top-flight national or international runner. The major thing is for him to maintain his enjoyment of what he is doing.
Good luck, Jesus.
The great thing about running is that you run the race yourself and nobody else does. It doesn't really make any difference what other people expect of you. You've got to go out and do what you are able to do to the best of your ability.
428.
The outcome in cross-country depends so much on a runner's day-to-day strength. Jesus Gutierrez came into the Western Regional as a favorite to win, but today he will not be able to stay up with the leaders. With a quarter-mile to go, he falls back. Jesus will not qualify for the Nationals. Today, the race is between Tracy Garrison and Calvin Gaziano. But Matt Justo, Simon Gutierrez, and 4 others from the West will also go to the Nationals, each with dreams of winning the national title.
Where's the top 8? He pushed me all the way.
It's a real race at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, 7 seed.
So,
7 seed right here.
no excuses.
Everybody, whether it's a high school runner or a world-class runner, is going to have those days.
Yeah.
And you just have to come back and, you know, what the Arizona coach told you, and that was, you know, keep your head up and bounce back.
The 64 runners in the Kinney Nationals represent all regions of the country. Some are already nationally known athletes. For others, the trip to San Diego is their first time away from their home state. For all of them, the 3-day experience of the Kinney Nationals will be something to remember.
Since I'm starting with thank yous, I would immediately...
One of the highlights of the event is the presence of Sebastian Coe, an Olympic gold medalist and holder of 7 world records.
Today. You're all going to be out there tomorrow You're all going to be competing, and you're all going to end up the day with varying degrees of satisfaction as to how you've performed. Some of you are going to perform above your wildest dreams. Others are going to perform very much to plan, to the kind of form you've been showing in regional meets. Some of you are going to be very, very disappointed. Please don't give up. It took me 4 attempts at national titles when I was a youngster before I even got into the first 6. Remember that you will hopefully be taking away from here a great deal of experience, and that for those of you that will be returning next year to the Kinney Championships, make sure that you've learnt something, at least something, from this one trip.
You really get a chance to be around people that are into running as much as you are. Everyone here is just as scared and as nervous as you are, which is neat.
This was the first really major competition I've been in that had this good of quality runners.
These people are all in the scholarship category. There are a lot of people who didn't make this meet who would also be pretty darn terrific collegiate cross-country runners.
Everybody here is a fantastic runner in the race today, and just to be here is an honor.
You meet other girls from the nation, you're being brought on a trip, you know. When you're in college, you're brought all over the place. It gives you a lot of experience in how to handle yourself on a trip.
It's alive!
Yes, you meet a lot of friends. A lot of friends. I was rooming with a friend when I competed with them all year long. And we're kind of like, we were enemies. You know, we just go to races to beat each other. And we roomed together, and we got to be much better friends.
The site of the Nationals is San Diego's Balboa Park, famous for its road and cross-country running courses. On the day before the race, National Coordinator Max Mayo conducts a tour of the course.
We want to encourage the crowd to be involved. I think it'll add to the race, and it's an open course, so they can move about. We're going to have enough people here to control the crowd, and it'll be well marked. You know, this is a national championship. We'll have inspectors all over the course and a jury of appeals, but we do have to go by the rules, so you got to stay within what is marked.
Girls, what do you think?
Wondering.
The first year, we were struggling to gain credibility. No one knew what we were. We had a national championship, and everybody said, well, you know, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. As time has passed, last year, the 4th year, for sure, we gained that credibility with all of the knowledgeable track and field people and cross-country people in the United States that we truly had a national championship. And I think this year, without a doubt, all the regional coordinators concur that there's no one in our regionals that we feel like would have qualified that was not in the regional meet. So we feel like we truly will have the outstanding high school runner today, male and female, to present to the United States.
It's race day. Some of the 64 finalists have been here before, and they are highlighted by the press.
A welcome to everybody for the 5th anniversary of the Kinney National Cross Country
But for many others,
Championships.
this will be their first test in national competition. Whatever their experience, they are united by a common dream to win this final event. On this course, with these runners, there is a feeling that anyone can win.
4:22 first mile, attempting to run away with our young men's race, pushing the pace very, very hard. That's Brad Hudson, Annandale, New Jersey. Okay, coming out of our 1 3/4 loop, we have in the lead Matt Juster. He's followed by Chris Zinn, Missouri Midwestern winner, followed in third by Simon Gutierrez from New Mexico, Tracy Garrison from Oregon, Brad Hudson, followed by his Northeast teammate, Barry Serchis.
Big lead. This would be more than a bit of an upset. Matt Justo, San Mateo High School, only third in his region, pulling away from the field.
Well, the hills helped me. I didn't plan to take the lead. Just my pace carried me up there. I was comfortable, and I never felt fatigued.
Were you in it last year?
Yeah, I was in my sophomore year and my junior year.
What place did you finish?
Let's see, 104th my sophomore and 136th my junior.
Approximately a 10-meter lead. We have Kathleen Smith and Janet Smith as regional winners. Third place was Kathy Shiro from New Hampshire, Melissa Straza from Bloomington, Illinois. We had a time of 4:55, very quick for a 5,000-meter race for the first mile.
Before the race, I was thinking of just staying with the leaders. I'd use the downhill and the uphill to my advantage. What I'd do is on top of the hill, I would test them out by just going out at a sprint. I was told I was 20 yards in the lead, and I wasn't expecting that at all. It's sort of hard to run the lead because you don't know where anybody else is. But that's where discipline comes in. You have to keep that pace going, and you have to have confidence in yourself that you can keep that pace up. I figured now my whole strategy has to change. I have to keep this lead. I have to keep trying to pressure them behind me and lose contact with them. I wasn't confident in myself last year. When I was at the race, I kept telling myself I could do it, but when I really thought about it, I thought, I can't do it. I think it made me more hungry to go out there and win it the next year.
As far as I'm concerned, there is no greater sport than cross country. It's probably the truest and the fairest judge of human character. And if you were going to judge your athletic career on simply the loss and win tally at the end of your career, I think you'll be poorer people for it. Enjoy what you're doing, and more importantly than that, your tenure is only borrowed, and that you have ultimately to hand on to the sport, or hand the sport on to the next generation of athletes. And all I can ask of you is to make sure that you hand it over in a fairly healthy state, because it is one of the nicest sports. And I think it's up to your generation to make sure that it remains like that. Thanks very much.
welcome the #1 female high school runner in the United States of America, Miss Janet Smith. Today he's our 1983 national champion, Matt Giusto.
The spirit of cross-country running is captured in the words of American author Henry Beston. Touch the earth, love the earth, her plains, her valleys, her hills. Rest your spirit in solitary places. For the gifts of life are the earth's, and they are given to all.